Hello guys, it's 899 here and welcome to today's video where today we're going to be going through my NRL tips and predictions for round 9 of the 2025 NRL season, but more particularly than that, it is Magic Round, all the games being up in Brisbane. Hopefully the pitch can hold up because I saw they were mulching it up a couple of days ago, but yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. Also, first Magic Round that I'll be going to, so I'm quite excited. Going to head up to Brisbane on Thursday, so yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. Starting off the opening match as we go to Friday, as we have the Cronulla Sharks and the Parramatta Eels opening up the Magic Round. So the Sharks are coming off a golden point loss to the Tigers, whilst the Parramatta are coming off a bye, but previously came off a win against the Tigers. So this is going to be quite interesting to see how the Sharks can bounce back from last week. It was still quite a close game. Sharks still holding on to the top 8. Parramatta getting their second win. Could see them start to climb up and, get some momentum. Obviously, with people like Moses being back is going to be very important. I think this is going to be a really interesting game to start off the whole festivities of the week. And I'm going to go with bold and say I think Parramatta are going to win. And now we go into the final game on Friday at 8:05 p.m. It is the Sydney Roosters taking on the Dolphins. In terms of odds and the tipping, one of the closest matches we have this weekend. Now the Roosters are coming off a big Anzac Day win, belting the Dragons 46-18. Whilst the Dolphins are coming off a capitulation, if you will. They were up by a considerate margin against the Raiders, but then the Raiders came back and kind of proved, yeah, the Raiders are kind of a good team. Yeah, they're a pretty good team. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this does play out. It's going to be, it's hard. It's generally one of the games where it's like I don't know who to tip, but I've actually flipped over several times between tipping either the Roosters or the Dolphins. I think it should be an alright match, but I'm going to say I think the Dolphins are going to just win. It's going to be one of those close matches. Now we go into Saturday 3 p.m. and to kick it off, we have the South Sydney Rabbitohs up against the Newcastle Knights. Now the Rabbitohs are coming off a close game with Melbourne, but Melbourne were doing enough to get over the line in a 24-16 win. And the Knights did okay, but they've still lost again losing to the Warriors this time. But, they're trying, which is something that's commendable. Currently, the Knights have the worst form going into Magic Round with 5 straight defeats. Now trying to look into seeing if there is a possibility of them getting over South. I mean, South obviously want to prove a point, but they only just lost to Melbourne, because Melbourne have been a little bit too weird in the last couple of weeks. But I want to tip the Knights to go for an upset, because I know Latrell Mitchell's not playing. But yeah, I'm just going to say the Rabbitohs should win this, because I just think the Knights aren't in the greatest of spots at the moment. Hopefully we raise $2 million to pay out a certain contract, because I feel like that's something we need as a start. And now we go into 5:30 on the Saturday, and we have a very interesting, good, exciting match, a top 8 match, to say the least. It is the New Zealand Warriors up against the North Queensland Cowboys. Now, as mentioned in the previous one, Warriors getting a win in Christchurch over the Newcastle Knights, and the Cowboys putting 50 on the Gold Coast. The Cowboys genuinely are one of the teams who've got the best form currently going into it. They're 4 wins and a loss. That's pretty darn good, and they're on a 4 streak. And the Warriors have got 4 wins as well, but it's sort of L right in the middle of them. So this should be a very exciting game. Could be quite close. This is going to be one of those ones where I feel like momentum will play a key role. Both teams wanting to cement themselves into the top 8. A win for the Warriors could have them tied with the Dogs at first. This is going to be one of those another ones where it's going to be kind of hard to tip. But I'm going to go for technically the odds favourite, but the least tipped, at least on ESPN. And I'm going to say I think the Cowboys will get the job done. And now we go into the final match on the Saturday, as we've got the West Tigers up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. Now the Tigers are coming off a golden point victory over the Cronulla Sharks, while the Dragons are coming off a pretty sizable defeat to the Roosters in Anzac Day. Lachlan Galvin back, and he did really well. Honestly, yeah, I think he did quite well in the matchup, and it's really good to see. Both teams obviously trying to vie for like first finals appearances in a bit for both clubs. Tigers currently in 9th, while the Dragons are currently in 10th. So yeah, pretty much any sort of win will jump them into the top 8. This is going to be kind of a hard one to pick, but I'm going to say that I think the West Tigers might just be able to get the job done and such. And now finally we move on to the final day of Magic Round as we go to the Sunday, and at 1:50 PM we have the Gold Coast Titans up against the Bulldogs. Now, the Titans are coming off a conceding 50 last week to the Cowboys, while the Bulldogs are coming off their first loss of their season in a pretty weird showing against the Broncos. The Bulldogs do have a considerable amount of players out for this match. Satili Tupanua is out for 5, Josh Curran out for 3, and Matt Burton for 1 due to suspensions from the match against the Broncos. I really want to tip the Titans here. I just feel like an upset could happen, but I think the Bulldogs, with their core, have got enough players to get the job done. So I think this will be closer than what it probably would have been if they still had all their players. But I think, yeah, the Bulldogs should still be able to get the job done and remain themselves at top of the table. Now we go on to 4:05 PM, where we have the Panthers taking on the Broncos. Now the Panthers, really weird showing against Manly. It's just, they got booed off the park. It's just really be CommBank really cursing teams. That really be that type of ordeal. And the other Brisbane Broncos obviously coming off a win against the Bulldogs after 2 straight losses. This is, I mean, it's a Brisbane Suncorp. Like, this is where this is the reason why Sunday sold out, is because it's when the Broncos fans actually show up for the Magic Round. So, because genuinely, like, it was the reason I couldn't get tickets to the Sunday, is because of Brisbane. But I feel this should be a good match for Brisbane to really cement themselves in amongst the discussion point of top contenders. Penrith do desperately need a win, but I just don't think it's going to come from this match. I'm going to tip the Broncos. And now we go to the final match of Magic Round, and honestly, the one I'm excited for the most, 6:25 PM, it's the Melbourne Storm up against the Canberra Raiders. It's 2nd versus 3rd. Like, that's nuts. Like, Canberra obviously coming off a comeback win over the Dolphins, while the Storm getting off a Anzac Day win over the Bunnies. This is going to be a very exciting game to see what happens. Like, genuinely, I think I kind of said this last week about the discussion point of, at what point do we consider Canberra legitimate premiership threats? I'm going to be honest, if they win this game, they have to be. They genuinely have to be. Like, there is a scenario where the Canberra Raiders finish the Magic Round on top of the table, which is kind of nuts to think about, especially when looking into it from the previous season. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good match. As much as I want to tip Canberra, I'm going to stick safe and stay the Storm. So yeah, that's who I'm going to be tipping. So that's it. Thank you all very much for watching. Just a quick run through of the tips. We've got the Eels, the Dolphins, the Rabbitohs, the Cowboys, the Tigers, the Bulldogs, the Broncos, and the Storm. So yeah, it's our first time going to be at Magic Round. I'll be going for the Thursday Women's Origin and Friday and Saturday Magic Round. Obviously, you couldn't get tickets for the Sunday because Brisbane are playing. But yeah, so I'll hopefully be making content around that, mostly sort of vlog type ordeals. So if you see me there, no you didn't. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.